So, this is the second part of my journey where I talk about my surgery and recovery thus far. I had my surgery on April 22nd, 2021. Today is May 2nd, I believe. So I'm like 10 days out from surgery. And so originally my doctor told me that my surgery was going to be a thyroidectomy, complete thyroidectomy, central neck dissection, which means all the lymph nodes in the central neck, and then a left radical modified neck dissection. It's supposed to be 7-hour surgery. It turns out my surgery was more like 10 hours. The lymph nodes were more than my doctor expected, and they were really attached to like muscle and like my jugular vein, and so he had to be very meticulous, and it just extended it out. When I woke up from that 10 hours after being in general anesthesia, I was completely out of it. It was a freaky experience. Definitely don't recommend. But I was wheeled to my room. Immediately they tried to, well, not immediately, but a couple hours later, whenever they tried to give me pain medicine by mouth, like Vicodin, and I choked. I couldn't swallow properly. That was a very scary experience because when you choke, it's very scary because you know you're choking and you can feel it, and you know that it needs to either come out of your mouth or it needs to go down into your belly, but it needs to move. So, and it was very painful. Coughing, hacking, it's just a very frightening experience. So I ended up getting IV pain medication for like the first 12 hours or so, which was fine. It hurt very bad to swallow. It hurt to talk. It was awful. But then I got that IV pain medication and it was tolerable. And so I only got like 2 doses of that. And then, my next due, they're like, we're going to try to do something by mouth again. And so she brings in the pill and she cuts it in half and she gives it to me in a straw. Same thing happens. I end up choking, like that vomiting sound, gasping for air in between. And yeah. So what they ended up doing was no more IV pain meds, but crushed my pain meds and put it in applesauce. They ended up doing that for all my pills for the first 2 or 3 days, because I was on a liquid diet for 2 to 3 days after surgery, because I just couldn't. I had an aversion after choking twice, and I was in pain, and I just was tired, So 2 to 3 days on a liquid diet, having that swallowing problem, and then the labs came back that my calcium was dropping, so my parathyroids were not working. My calcium went down to about 6.9 before my doctor started giving me IV calcium, because it just hit drop, and he wasn't going to let it go any further. So I got bags of IV calcium. I got bags of magnesium, bags of phosphorus, IV, and my 2-night stay ended up turning into a 4-night stay in the hospital, and I was discharged in the afternoon on the 5th day when I was able to hold my calcium level. It was still low. It was still low. I think normal was like 8.6 and mine was 8.2. But I was able to hold that for a few hours or a day until he discharged me. I was ready to go home, see my kids, but yeah. it was definitely a very intense surgery. You know, I have to take a pill for the rest of my life because they took out my thyroid. So I'll be on a pill for the rest of my life every day in the morning. And yeah, so right now I'm about 10 days out and I can swallow better. I'm able to manage my swallowing. Oh, I want to mention, when I was in the hospital, when I was having my swallowing problems, the doctor did come in, put the little camera down my nose, down to my throat to look at my vocal cords, and my left one was twitching. When I would swallow, the other one would, you know, do its job and move over to the midline. But this left one would just kind of twitch where it was. And sometimes it would move over and sometimes it would just twitch there. So it was clearly damaged because I had lymph nodes all the way up here. I have a lot of facial pain, a lot of swelling in my neck, numbness. I have about real feeling here, and this jawline's about pins and needles, and right under it, it's nothing. Can't feel anything. So the jawline is pins and needles, real feeling up here. I have pain sometimes in my ear. I had a horrible migraine, like behind my eye, my left eye, this side of my head, for the first 3 days after surgery. It was awful. I had tightness opening my jaw. I'm doing a lot better now. But yeah, just tons of swelling here, numbness, everything. It's really trippy. My swallowing, again, I know how to manage it better, so I'm not choking. I have yet to choke. I am taking whole pills for the first 3 days because of my swallowing. I had to be crushed, and then it moved to halves, and now it's whole pills. Yeah, but overall I'm doing all right. No pain meds. I'm not on any pain meds. I am taking gabapentin though still. That helps with like the nerve damage. I have another appointment with a doctor to check my parathyroid labs. So I'm still taking calcium 4 times a day. I'm taking 1 calcium pill 3 times a day, so every 8 hours. And I'm taking the other calcium pill 12 hours, every 12 hours. So quite a bit of calcium pills a day because my last labs showed that my PTH is still really low. I think your PTH is your parathyroid hormone is supposed to be at least at 18 to 80, I believe, and mine was less than 6, and this was a few days ago. So less than 6, and the minimum is 18. So I'm really hoping my parathyroids wake up because I don't want to be on calcium for the rest of my life. My pathology report came back. So again, it showed the thyroid nodule on the left side, 1.2 centimeters. Thyroid nodule and clusters of cancer nests on the right lobe of my thyroid. So it's really good because it would have spread to my right side. 21 lymph nodes were removed from my thyroid, my neck dissection. 21 lymph nodes removed. 6 of them were grossly positive for cancer. 2 or 3 of them had the extranodal extension. So I guess that's how it spread, right? It breaks out of the barrier of the lymph node itself, and then it's able to spread, elsewhere. So I had like 2 or 3 of those that were just spreading everywhere. But it did confirm classic papillary thyroid cancer. 1 parathyroid was found in my pathology, but given that we have on average 4, you know, each person has about 4, you know, I should still have 3, 2 or 3 working. Well, hopefully they wake up and start working, but you know, just kind of hoping that none of this damage, none of the vocal cord damage is permanent, hoping that the parathyroids wake up and I no longer have to take calcium and they start doing their job. And next week, I meet with my endocrinologist to go over my path report and to go over the radiation, the iodine treatment. Let's call it the iodine treatment. To go over those kind of details, because I will be getting that in so many weeks. I think maybe 6 weeks or so. I will make a video on that as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this up because it's getting long. And if you have any questions, leave it down below. Thanks.